So here's the deal. Fractions mean that there's like a portion of something, right? So fractions are a portion of a bigger whole. And so let's say if we're thinking about like 2/5, right? 2/5 would be, what that looks like is like, let's say I have a thing and I break that up into 5 parts like this. And then when I'm talking about 2/5, then that looks like one of these parts and then the other part. So that is 2/5. And if I made a line like this, then all of a sudden this turns into 4 parts out of 10, right? So now it's 4/10. And then what if instead I made a line that was like, or I made 2 lines like this? Now all of a sudden this is 6 out of 15 and so on. So you can kind of see what that pattern would look like, right? So 2/5 can turn into 10 or 4/10 and then 6/15 and so on. And those are all equivalent fractions. So these are equivalent fractions. So if we look at like what we were doing, if we had 2/5 and I multiply that by some number on the top and the exact same number, whatever this is and whatever this is, then I can create equivalent fractions. So let's say if I use the number 6 and 6 over here, then we make equivalent fractions that are 12 on the top, and then on the bottom we would have 30. And let's say if we want to simplify this, if instead of starting from this, we start from this one, and that's the problem that's given to us, and then we want to work backwards and make it look like the 2/5, then what would we do? We would do the 12 over 30, and this time what we'd have to do is divide it by the same number, top and bottom. And the number that we divide by should be something that can go into 12 and into 30. So what's a number that can go into 12 and into 30? What do you think, Calculina?
6 goes into both of them.
Yes, exactly. So if we divide both of them by 6, then we get the answer. 12 divided by 6 is 2. On the bottom, we get 5. And so that is how you simplify fractions. You look for something that goes into both the top and the bottom, and you divide both of those by that number. Once you get good at it, then you can mostly just do this in your head, and you don't have to like write it all out. But that's how equivalent fractions and simplifying fractions work.